Do you want to know how you can turn your side hustle into a full-time nutrition career? Today's video is going to break down my journey step by step. So I started my nutritionist career as a registered dietitian working in a traditional clinical office. So I worked in a hospital as a registered dietitian for 4 years. Before that, I was chief clinical at a nursing home, and before that, I did some per diem work at a hospital. And as a nutritionist working in these hospital settings, I was underpaid and undervalued, and I didn't feel like the message about nutrition was really important to the staff that I worked with. And I saw this at every institution I worked with over the years of being in a traditional 9-to-5 job. Now, before I worked as a nutritionist in a hospital setting, I worked as a nutrition coach, and I did that alongside personal training. I did that for 9 years in New York City. And I have some really good stories and experiences in being a personal trainer and nutrition coach before I became a nutritionist in a hospital setting. Definitely helped me build my skills, my interpersonal skills, my sales skills, my communication skills. And those did all transfer over and make it easier when I became a nutrition consultant. And I did that and got paid a really good amount, thousands of dollars an hour, to do teaching and speaking on nutrition topics. And I also taught nutrition courses that I created to medical students and medical residents, so I was a nutrition consultant. Being a nutrition consultant was not quite full-time, but I did that while I was working my nutritionist career at the hospital, and then finally I decided to go full-time when I went online. So going remote, being able to deliver my service online was so smart, and I created a course that replaced my salary as a nutritionist in 6 months. And so I decided to go full-time. But before I went full-time, I want to mention that I did work in a 9-to-5 job, and I also worked as a consultant. I had a lot of revenue streams going for me. I was trying to pay off my student loans, and because I was paid so low in my salaried position, I felt like I needed to have all these little side jobs. The challenges and obstacles that I faced when I was a nutritionist working in a hospital was feeling like I didn't have much confidence and struggling to get representation for nutrition and how important it is. When I worked as a nutrition coach, I actually got paid really well, and I enjoyed doing that alongside personal training. But the issue is that I struggled with confidence, and I thought that I needed to be a registered dietitian before I could provide any nutrition coaching. So I was really insecure about my ability to sell that service. So I stuck more to the personal training because I had a lot of certifications and experience with that as I was finishing my schooling to become a registered dietitian. So as a nutrition coach, I was insecure, and as a registered dietitian, I was underpaid. And then as a nutrition consultant, it all started coming together because I was more confident and I was starting to get paid my worth. But the issue and obstacle I faced at that point in my career is that there were only so many hours in the day, and I wasn't able to scale my efforts. So sure, I could get paid a lot of money to teach and speak, which I did for years, but I noticed, is this it? I felt like I wanted to be able to create more of an impact. And that's why I was able to go online. I wanted to create online courses. I knew that delivering courses in person was good, and I would be paid a high amount as a consultant, but I wanted to reach more people. I wanted to have the impact for making infinite revenues because my opportunities were local and word of mouth, and I was afraid they would dry up. And I was right, because I stopped nutrition consulting right before COVID when things went weird, and I was able to go fully remote, which gave me more flexibility and options. So I think it's a good idea for you to try that as well. If you want to become an online nutritionist and you want to build that up while you're working another job like I did, my best tip would be to have realistic expectation. When I started my online business, I didn't expect to be making 6 figures the next day. What I really did is I put in the time and effort into skill building and growing my mindset. And when I say skill building, I mean really learning sales and marketing and teaching myself and improving. And where that came naturally to me, there was a lot of areas of the business that didn't come naturally to me. For example, technology is not my best skill set. So it takes me a little longer to figure out tech integrations. It took me longer to figure out setting up email marketing automations. And where I'm better at it now, it's still not my favorite thing to do in the business. So I took a lot of time to figure out how things worked in the online landscape. And I was realistic about when, at what point, and about what money I would need to make would I be able to go full time. Building those skills helped me go full time online in my business. Looking back at the biggest lesson that I learned, it would have been to go online sooner. So I wish I would have built my brand earlier on. So I built my brand and started using Instagram to share who I was and what I was all about and connect with people in my target market later. I really wish I would have done that sooner. And so I teach that to my clients, like, hey, start building your brand before you feel ready. Because if you start building relationships and learn how to communicate online and really understand how to listen to people who are expressing the problems that they experience around nutrition, then you'll have a better chance at developing those skills. Because remember, I came into starting my online business after I was a nutrition consultant while working a full-time job, after I had 9 years of experience as a personal trainer and nutrition coach. So I had a lot of transferable skills. So where those skills were not social media skills, they were interpersonal skills like communication and customer service, they did translate. So the sooner that you can learn those skills, interpersonal skills, specifically with social media, the better. So that means starting a TikTok account or posting regularly on Instagram, or finding a way to use Facebook groups to learn about the problems that people struggle with in your local community, preferably around nutrition, right? So what are people talking about with gut health? What are people talking about with weight loss? What are people talking about in the functional space? So get an understanding of that by positioning yourself online and showing your face so people start to remember who you are. I hope that you found this video helpful and insightful to learn a little bit more about me and my career trajectory. I'm so excited to share that I've been able to grow $1 million business. I've been able to help over 1,000 nutritionists start and grow their business and become their own boss. And I would love to help you as well. So if you're looking to get started using Instagram specifically, I have a course I'll link below, and I also have a free guide to help you come up with catchy headings and words that will invite people to your social media account to make it easier for you to connect with them and sell them. And if you are interested in coaching with me or somebody from my team, reach out and let us know. And we would be happy to consider working with you depending on your stage of business. We do have an application linked in the description below.